Alright guys, we're back with the Maverick Quantum 2 Flux. This is that new 110 scale monster truck basher. But anyway, today we're gonna get into the upgrades on the motor mount. That's what we're gonna do today. Install that, and just for the record, it's very similar, almost identical to changing the pinion gear in a Traxxas Stampede, because of the way everything is with that motor mount. It's pretty simple to change a pinion gear or spur gear without even actually, well, you'll have to change the positioning because it's a self-positioning motor mount. So when you put your any new pinion on there, you'll have to line that up with the holes, and the holes count exactly the number of teeth that you would have on the pinion gear you would use. So if you have like a 13 tooth, you would use hole 13, 14 hole 14, 15, so on and so forth. But we're not going to change a pinion gear today. We're just going to put that motor mount in, and it's clearly marked and everything. You'll see that as we go, and it's pretty straightforward. It's not too much else to say about that. So we're going to go ahead on and get into that. So you guys, hope you enjoy the video, and I hope it's informative. Back in a second. So I'm stepping in with voiceover now, because what I wanted to do was make sure that you guys had an idea of how long it actually takes to do this, because everybody who wants to get into this hobby, a lot of times they're concerned about how long it takes to do repairs and things like that, or are they difficult to do, stuff like that. So we just want to address it. So as I was saying previously, what you have to do with this is you have to remove that center brace, and the screw's kind of long, so be patient with that. And once you get the screw out, though, you can just flex the shock tower, and it'll let you lift that center brace right up out of the way. And once that's done, you'll see one of the 3 screws that I was referring to, because the center brace covers it. So that's why you have to take that off. And it's like, well, I don't want to have to do all that, but it's 1 screw. So this whole operation is 6 screws. And the 4 screws are the screws that you will take out to get to the motor mount itself. As you see me doing, you just have to remove those 4 screws, the one in the center brace and the 3 that hold the cover on. Once those are out, there's no other screws that you need to remove or anything like that. So as I get done with this last screw, it's actually hard to fill in with conversation, because it's really basic. There's not a lot to be said about it. Once those 4 screws are removed, you just lift that plate right off. See, it's nothing binding it, nothing holding it. And once you do that, the motor itself is not bound by anything. It just slips into a grooved bracket on the chassis. And as you can see, you just might have to shake it a little bit because it might be a little bit stuck, but it lifts right out. And then the other 2 screws are the 6 screws out of 2 screws that you have to take out in order to remove the motor mount itself. And you don't have to even take, if you're not going to change your pinion gear, you don't even have to remove it to take that off. It'll come off right over the pinion gear, as you're going to see as I take those 2 screws out. There's no Loctite on them or anything like that, so they're not going to be hard to remove. Just always remember righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and you won't have any problems. And then just remember what the 2 numbers were. And I think I mentioned earlier, the stock pinion gear on this is 14.2. And the motor mount itself has the number of whatever pinion you're going to use. If you want to go smaller, I think it goes all the way down to 12 and all the way up to 16. So you can use this with this mount. You can use as small as a 12 tooth spur and as big as a 16 tooth spur. And like I said, the stock one is 14. I know I'm repeating myself, but hey, we want to be accurate about this, right? And so that's where we're at with this part. Putting that on and making sure we line the holes up and everything right so that it goes back into place the way that it came out. So that's going to be important, guys. You want to make sure that the motor mount lines up, because you have all of these brackets on the motor mount itself, as you can see. And you're going to want to make sure that everything lines up properly so that it all fits back together and the motor seats properly so that you have a proper mesh. And I think I explained the rest of that. So I'm going to stop at this point with the voiceover, and we're going to get back to me talking in the video. A little something on it, but we're going to make sure. We're going to make sure we get our Loctite on there. All our screws. Try not to make a mess, guys. That's what I'm trying to do it this way. It might not work out for me. Might end up making a mess trying to do it this way. Drop on there. It'll drop on there. It doesn't take a lot of Loctite, guys. A little dab will do you. Okay, guys, I got the mount on the front of the motor now. You want to make sure that you got the motor mount positioned with the U shape up so that it'll slide down and everything will mesh properly and have you back rolling like you should be rolling. That looks like a good mesh. Looks like it was. It's back like it was. Anyway, you can't mess up the mesh because of the simple fact that everything sits the way it's supposed to sit. Once you put everything into the grooves, these clips and things, it makes it virtually impossible to get it meshed wrong. So as you can see, everything is rolling smooth like it should be in there. So then you just stick this back on here like so. Take your 3 screws, 1, 2, hope I'm putting them in the right places, guys, and 3. Should be. And screw everything back together. I'm gonna do that and then come back. Okay, so she's back together with the first upgrade. Trade this out. And we got the metal one in. Again, the part number for this, as you can see, 150496. This is available at A Main Hobby. They have a ton of upgrades for this thing. Everything you need to keep this car up and running. They're not out of stock at the time of this video. They're not out of stock with anything. And they have aluminum upgrades for everything. You can get shock towers, you can get carriers, you can upgrade this brace, which I'm gonna put back in place now as well. You can upgrade this brace, like I said, the mounts for it, the little brackets right here and right here. You can get that in aluminum. You can bling it. You can make it more durable. You can set everything up the way you want to set it up for your truck. Everything you need, like I said, is in stock. It was inexpensive. I think this upgrade here, I think this is a $10, $11. You don't quote me on it because I don't remember exactly. I know it was cheap. I figured I'd throw that in. You know, Gray Main's $30 coupon, it allowed me to grab this, and it allowed me to grab the metal, the motor mount and the metal spur gear that I got here. The metal spur gear, just a refresher. The part number on that, 150470. It's a 51.2 32 pitch metal gear, steel servo, heavy duty steel spur rather. Sorry, servo. Heavy duty steel spur. So that's enough on this for now. You know my motto: you ain't crashing, you ain't bashing. Yes, I say it every time. I'm gonna say it because that's the case. Even if you a great driver, if you're not pushing the envelope, if you're not taking it to the max, if you're not giving it all you can give it at your skill level, it's different skill levels. But if your skill level won't improve unless you crashing at some point because you're trying to get better. That's just the reality of it. So therefore, if you ain't crashing, you ain't bashing. It's TKS Hobby saying be safe, be blessed, especially during this holiday season, this summer season. It get hot and people get crazy. So just watch out for yourself and watch out for each other. Like I said, you have a great, safe, wonderful summer. This is TKS Hobby signing out.